Interesting.
Nice. Okay. Let's see, my mic is working. Check, 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 check. Nice. Okay. So, yeah, I'm live on YouTube. Right, crazy. So, yeah. Okay, so yeah, I never make live streams on here. I mostly just want to do this just to see what it'd be like. I'm just gonna pretend this is a normal video because I usually do these things first take anyway. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's been a minute since I made an update video. Since then, a couple things have changed. For one, I just came back from the hospital. You know, that's fun. Yeah. Was not expecting to be there. I'll say that much. Yeah. Gosh. I was there, since Thursday night or Thursday morning, whatever. Anyway, I overdosed on medication in order to kill myself. It was naproxen, of which I need to get rid of. It's this shit. So yeah, it's it's interesting, you know, coming back from that place. You know, it's extremely limiting. And it wasn't even the first time I've been there. I'd been there before at that exact same facility, at that hospital. It was interesting. So yeah, I I don't know. I don't know. You know, usually it's really easy for me to kind of do this, but it's not. I usually come into this knowing exactly what I'm gonna say. I usually I don't have a script for these updates that I usually do. It's usually very off the cuff. I have a feeling, some kind of something, you know, and I just go from there, you know. Today I don't really have that. For me, I've been you know what, we'll start there. For the past few weeks or so, I've been keeping to myself a lot. Have been, yeah. And keeping to myself, I've been pushing a lot of people away because I was irritable, extremely irritable. I wasn't getting sleep at all. I was basically sleeping 2 to 4 hours a night, pretty much. Even then, usually just pulling all nighters, a good chunk of them. For, like I said, yeah, a few weeks. And due to that, I was extremely crabby, cranky, and I'm like, I don't want to be a bother to anybody. And on top of that, I just didn't want to deal with anybody. I was extremely irritated by talking to literally anybody. It didn't matter. Like even my girlfriend. In fact, I'm dating now. I have a girlfriend. Even now, I'm still a little bit like. It's weird. It's really, really weird because it's new. like I'm used to having like momentary like irritableness, like yes, being irritable. But it's like from there it usually just kind of went away, like pretty much instantaneously. But instead, it's like I don't know. It lasted for so long, and even now, it's still like a feeling I have where I still don't really want to talk to anybody. The reason why I even talk to people in the hospital is because I kind of had to. You know, I was bored out of my mind, and if I didn't, I'd kind of go crazy. Because you don't have your phone, you don't have anything. You just have a TV. Just stare at. You don't really get a choice in really watching what you want. Even though I don't really like TV. So yeah. God, I have a headache. I do. I have a massive headache. Waking up this morning, I just. Oh my god. Yeah. It's so weird. It's like, what is this live stream? I'm really not used to being live on YouTube. I'm used to being on Twitch, you know, like doing it there. And like I have like this expectation set for this. I feel like it's supposed to be like the same, except it's not. So one, I don't have any viewers on YouTube, you know. Secondly, you know, like I have viewers on Twitch. You know, what is it? Like this is like a video, except it's not. It's weird. Anyway. So yeah, you know, I was dealing with that. I was dealing with the thought of my sister. I've been thinking about my sister a lot lately, as I do in pretty much every single one of my videos that I ever mention. But 2 years after the fact that she committed suicide, I still think about her, and it was kind of reignited whenever I watched a video of. It just got randomly recommended to me. I didn't even go looking out for it. It just came out of nowhere. And it was a news report on my sister and the anniversary of her death. And I did not like it. I did not. I was very upset, very frustrated, and I felt like she was misrepresented. Like, yeah. It's like they try to paint her in a picture that wasn't her. It was extremely frustrating to see that because I knew her extremely well. Like, she was my best friend. You know, I was with her pretty much every single day of her life, except for the very tail end. Basically, what it was like they were saying that she was a victim of firefighter PTSD and that she committed suicide due to the pressures related to the job and also having PTSD due to the job, which I feel is entirely not the case. Entirely not. It's completely inaccurate. Wrong as fucking hell. Now, sadly, the only reason why I could say I feel is because my sister never really left a note behind stating her intentions and why she did it. So we can only guess. Thankfully, I'm probably one of the most qualified people to give a guess because I knew her so well. And I was in her shoes in a lot of my life. And I went through a lot of the same circumstances, situations, etc. I can tell you right now, it's not do that bullshit. Not do that at all. And I feel like they were doing that to try and fit this agenda. You know, which I get it. You know, it's nice that they're recognizing PTSD. You know, like while I was in the hospital, I realized that I might actually have a form of PTSD. So I get that. I'm glad that they're wanting to use it for something positive at least. It's just like she didn't have PTSD due to that. She had PTSD due to childhood traumas. You know, on top of that, she had depression that she'd been dealing with pretty much all her life. On top of that, massive anxiety. And she probably had some other things. I don't know. I couldn't give a guess. I can tell you that much. She had anxiety and depression. She had a lot of trauma growing up. She felt trapped, alone. She felt like she didn't have a future. She felt hopeless. There was nothing that was on the other side. You know how they say the grass is greener on the other side? She didn't even see another side. She thought there wasn't another side. She thought that was it. That was her life. She was going to be a failure. You know, that's how she thought growing up, you know, and coming near the tail end of high school, you know, she wasn't getting good grades, you know, and like for her family and for people just surrounding her, you know, like grades are everything, you know, like if you failed classes, you basically failed just in general. You suck. You cannot succeed unless you do good in school. That was her thing. That was how she felt. Because everybody reinforced this feeling into her. Hardly anybody really gave her another option, such as arts, music, things that she was actually into. And she had very heavy strengths, and she was beautiful in that regard. She just was extremely artistic and very expressive in that way. I mean, she was already making money off of it before she even graduated. She was already well on her way, and yet, despite that, despite having this future in that, she couldn't see it. Because she never considered it. You know, even though she considered it a hobby, she never really ventured too far into that. You know, she considered like art school, but even then, for art school, you would have to have good grades and things like that, which she just wasn't the greatest academically. And due to trauma and things like that, it was really hard for her to accept help, even from those that she loved, including myself. Even though I was excelling in pretty much every academic subject, meanwhile she wasn't. You know, so I offered help, but she never really took it due to jealousy and being, you know, stubborn. You know, being like, yeah, I don't need your help kind of thing, you know? Like, I got this, whenever she didn't. But regardless of that, you know, I feel like it was a completely different reason other than firefighter PTSD. You know, they're painting her as this thing, and like it even mentions in the news report and the spokesperson how it's like, you know, she was part of this huge study done back in blah 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 about teenagers and young adults ranging from blank age to blank age about PTSD and how they tend to commit suicide at higher rates. And it's like, yeah, that's great, cool, I'm glad you guys are doing that study, but she isn't even applicable. That's not applicable. Like, sure, she was a firefighter. Let me tell you guys, she was a firefighter for like a month maybe. She hadn't done any calls. She hadn't done really anything. I can tell you why she even did it in the first place. She was trying to get out of the house and do anything because she was incredibly restricted by my family. That, you know, due to this, what is it? Their beliefs that education is everything and education is the only thing that will grant you success in life. You know, like, apparently that was the way to go for them, you know? So if she didn't do that, she was building herself up for failure. She was setting herself up for failure. So, you know, they would try to get her to have better grades, and they just couldn't find a way to do it. So instead, they would punish her. And by punishment, they would take things away from her, including every electronic she really owned, which was all she had. That's all she had. Some arts and crafts, sure, yeah, you know. She couldn't talk to friends. She couldn't really go to after-school programs. And those after-school programs were extremely limited in what she could do and what she could attend. She couldn't go outside the house. She was just stuck. She was like in this prison, pretty much. Because she didn't get good grades. Even though she tried. She would try to do better. Regardless of the fact that she improved and tried to improve herself. Because of late assignments. Missing a homework here and there. You know, like, they would just take these things away from her, and that was all she had. You know, like, as ridiculous as it sounds, the internet was all she really had. So she could talk to people, socialize, and feel somewhat normal. Like she had an escape from this prison that she was held in. And now that she didn't really have that, she felt like she was in, like, just a bricked up wall. No windows. That's all she felt. She wasn't interested in television. She wasn't interested in talking to us. She was interested in getting out of there, trying to make a life for herself, and trying to find something to... But whenever that was taken away from her, her inspiration left her. Because she wasn't able to go through that avenue that she was interested in, which is arts, and video, and animation, and all these other things that school wasn't going to teach her. Nobody was going to teach her, except for people on the internet. And on top of that, you know, be able to socialize and talk to people, because she was getting bullied. She was getting bullied, made fun of, and on top of that, she was isolating herself from other people because of trauma and excessive bullying throughout her entire life. So, you know, they would, like, parents would think that she's almost perfectly fine. And they would just, you know, just think like, oh, she's just goofing. She's just not trying hard enough. When in reality she was. Even whenever they took all these things away from her, and her entire life was just doing school assignments. She still failed. She failed just the same. She tried to get help from her teachers constantly, get tutors, and she would still fail. And you know what? They would still punish her. They would give her more chores. They would restrict the amount of time she could do different things. It was ridiculous and then some. And then on the other side of it, whenever I struggled in school and I had these things, the punishment was so much less. Extremely less. It felt like they had an extreme favoritism towards me. And she was mad. She was frustrated with that. And I completely understand that. You know, I didn't want to get punished, you know, so I didn't fucking step up and be like, yo, punish me more, please. You know, but same exact time, I would fight for her and try to get her off these restrictions because they were absolutely ridiculous. They were absolutely ridiculous. She felt powerless. And I feel like that's the reason why she ultimately killed herself. So as you guys can imagine, this is extremely frustrating. Hearing my stepfather on the fucking news station being like, oh yeah, she was a great firefighter, you know, blah, 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 you know. She did this and that, you know, and that's why she killed herself. Because blah, blah, blah. Like, it was just dumb. It was dumb. Extremely. Like, not calling them dumb. What they did was dumb. Like, big difference. Big difference. So, you know, I'm dealing with that. And on top of that, I'm dealing with administrative separation from the military. And trying to figure out how I'm going to transition, what all of it entails, and what I'm going to get from it. Like, am I going to get anything? Am I going to be homeless? Am I going to be, like, etc. You know, like, it's big, it's scary, and it's mysterious. I don't really know right now. You know, I'm still in the middle of it, and I have no idea what the future holds for me at all. So, I'm stressing out. I'm anxious about that. And on top of that, you know, I'm being reminded of traumatic events in the past. What is it? People are just constantly bringing up things. It's not their fault or anything like that. Just things kept coming up, you know. Like people would open up to me and they would bring up all these things that were very similar to my life, and I'd basically be replaying it back in my head, just like I was going through it, you know. And it's like it's extremely powerful, you know. And I'm trying not to think about this, and then, you know, at night I'm keeping myself up thinking about these things, and I'm not sleeping. And due to the sleep, I'm groggy, I'm upset, I'm irritable. I'm not talking to anybody, so I only have time to think to myself, so I'm basically just driving myself crazy. And then I have all these deadlines, all these appointments I have to make. I have to show up to work at this, and this time. I have all these appointments I gotta fucking deal with. All this scheduling that I've never done. I've never scheduled a day of my life. Never. Because I always mess up. I always forget something and it's all messy and ugh. I have a horrible memory. Absolutely horrific in terms of that. It's extremely, extremely hard for me to remember dates, times, etc., where I gotta be. You know? And like, on top of the stress, the sleepless nights, and everything like that, it just amplified this feeling. So I would get in trouble with work because I wasn't showing up on time. I would wake up late. I wouldn't show up to a medical appointment here, medical appointment there. I look like shit here, blah, blah, blah. So they're coming down my throat, giving me additional stress. Everything's just coming down on me, you know? And then, you know, me and my girlfriend, you know, we were having some issues, you know, because I'm depressed. I don't want to talk as much. So I'm distancing myself. And, you know, she's obviously not happy about it. So she's like, hey, you know, I want you to talk to me. You know, I don't want you to be away from me. So, you know, I'm having relationship issues. And then on top of that, I had a falling out with friends or making fun of me due to my gender. Make me question my entire gender identity. So I'm fucking scrambling over that. On top of that, I'm dealing with a lot of physical pains. Physical pains. Rib pain, back pain, fucking leg pain, knee pain, ankle pain, fucking neck pain, headache, stomach pain. It's ridiculous the amount I was going through. You know? It's a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot. And on top of that, I wasn't able to really do anything that I enjoyed. I wasn't able to really go outside of my house really to go do anything. I feel like I'm trapped in this room sometimes. This singular little room where all these horrible things have happened in the past. Binge drinking due to breakups. Suicide attempts. Once again. The constant nights I would cry myself to sleep. All in this tiny little area. Either right here or on my bed. Those are the two fucking places that these things would happen. There's nowhere else in this place to really go. That's it. So every single time I sit down, I immediately start thinking about that. And on top of that, I'm thinking about all of this other shit. You know, so as you can imagine, I came to a breaking point. I go to work Thursday. They pull me to the side. Hey, Long. You know, yeah, you know, we're writing you up because you showed up to work late last week. Again. For like the third or fourth time. In the past 2 months. You've been fucking up, and we gotta set you up with this other time that you have to muster and show up for attendance. Muster is attendance, by the way. It's basically it's for accountability for the military, just making sure you're alive kind of thing. You show up to a place, or maybe you send a text at a certain time, etc. So, yeah, I failed to show up at times, at specific times, so they would have to come knock on my door, etc. to make sure I'm alive. So, you know, they're coming down on me for that. And then on top of that, I'm I've been dealing with paperwork and things like that. I'm gonna set up classes, make medical appointments. I've been alright with medical appointments. I missed one or two here and there. That's fine. Whatever. I mean, it's not fine, but it's as long as I make the rest of them, I'll be fine. But I have to schedule this transition class because I'm separating so quickly. They're like, hey, you got to do this by Friday. You got to finish this by Friday. You have to finish this paperwork. You got to call them. You got to schedule this. You got to give me a date, a time, blah, 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 blah. It just felt like a lot that they were asking of me. Because the paperwork is very extensive. And on top of that, like scheduling is a fucking pain in the ass. And I was already dealing with a lot of shit. And I'm like, look, I'm trying, things have just been coming up, and so basically, what my LPO said, my leading petty officer, that's my superior basically, was saying, look, if I deliver a baby, that baby's got to eat. It doesn't matter how much pain I went through. I still got to do it. So I felt like no matter what happened, I'd have to do it. And if I ever fucked up, that's it. I fucked up. No matter what happens. Really, anything could possibly happen out of fuck up. And I felt like I always fuck up. I always mess up. I always do this, and that. I'm always late. I'm always this. I'm always that. I felt like it was impossible for me to do this. Even though it was pretty simple, fill out a form, send it, set up an appointment, right? But to me, it felt monumental. It felt monumental. I have trouble even showering. I have trouble eating. I have trouble doing the most basic of things. So as you can imagine, this is astronomical in proportions in comparison to eating some Cheez-Its. So I snapped. I didn't snap at them. I basically broke. I broke. I held it in at work. I immediately wanted to die. I immediately was like, I'm gonna die. This is too much. I can't do this. I can't do this. There's no hope. I'm gonna mess this up. I'm gonna get out of the military. They're gonna separate me. They're gonna fucking do this, and that. This is the end of my life. I have no future. I have no hope. Blah, blah, blah. Everybody hates me, etc. And I just kept feeding into it. And on top of that, I was missing my sister. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I miss my sister. I'm gonna go join her ass. Fuck it. You know what? I would much rather take the chance at there being nothing. Literally nothing after death. Not even existence. I wouldn't even... It's not even something I could possibly comprehend. For me, I don't think that there's an afterlife. I think there is literally nothing. No universe, nothing. No semblance of anything. There's no soul. Nothing carries on. Now, and in that moment, I would have much, much rather have dealt with that. Yeah. So that's how it was. Yeah. Fuck. I'm throwing this thing out. Like, just fucking. This shit's fucking awful, by the way. The Proxen, what the fuck ever. Just gives you stomach pains, pretty much. I'm just looking to see if it gives like any super personal info. Not really. My name, date of birth, I don't really give a shit. And a really outdated phone number. I don't give a shit, it's fine. Who's this guy? This is Gunter. Yeah, that was my doctor before. I'm like, oh, whatever. Anyway. So yeah. I had to go to the hospital. So yeah, what is it? Okay, yeah. Come home. I'm freaking out. I am freaking out. I'm thinking of ways to kill myself. I think of possibly everything I possibly could do. My medication is extremely limited. I don't want to stab myself. You know, this thing's really dull. The other one that's sharp. Either way, like, I don't like the idea of stabbing myself and dealing with the pain on top of that blood just going everywhere. It fucking sucks. I can't hang myself. The ceiling would, like, come loose and fall down. Can't jump out the window. It's too low. There's a good chance I'd probably just survive. No gun, nothing like that. I only really want, like, two different ways. Like, what is it? If there was, like, a medicine, like, poison, whatever, that would instantly kill me, I would have taken it, but I didn't really have that. I had naproxen, I had some other medicine, but none of it really could really add up to it. However, looking up naproxen, you can technically get, like, organ failure or whatever if you, like, super overdose, right? And that was, like, over time or whatever. Like, and even then, I didn't even take all of it. Like, I only took, like, 20, 25 pills of it, which is still an insane amount. It totaled up to over 10,000 milligrams. That's 10 grams of naproxen in your body, which was insane. Like, yeah, what is it? I was, like, going crazy. I'm like, I want to kill myself, I want to kill myself, I want to kill myself. I would, as I was explaining to my therapist while I was over at the hospital, it got to the point where I wanted to kill myself much rather than live. So if I were to call somebody and tell them, hey, I'm dealing with this, it would ruin my plan. So basically, I was at a point where I didn't want to call anybody. I didn't want to talk to anybody. Nothing. Because that would ruin my plan. I need this to go through. And if I could call somebody, I would fail. So, yeah, that was where I was at. So, eventually I came to the point where I'm like, I can't kill myself. Okay, look, I'll call somebody. I was figuring out who the heck to call. I was freaking out, panic attack, whatever. Eventually, and I'm like, fuck it. I'll call my superior. Call my superior. Hey, blah, blah, blah. I'm having suicidal ideations. I'm freaking out. I don't know what the fuck to do. Like, okay. Go tell them. Go to this person. Don't do anything after, okay? I'm like, okay. Immediately after I hang up, I immediately overdose on fucking that shit. So that's what happened. Yeah. Okay. Aside from that, which is a lot. That's a lot to unpack. A lot. I did want to also say that, the relationship between me and my mother has gotten better. Significantly better. I am, very, very shortly after I posted my last video, I missed my mom. I did. And whenever she commented on my video, I felt the need I needed to call her. And I did. I called her, I apologized, and I explained myself, and I'm telling her how I felt about everything, and she's like, no, look, I get it. I watched all your video. I understand. Look, we came to an understanding and everything like that, and turned out to be a bit of a misunderstanding on both ways, So yeah, on top of that, I was just in a better mental health state at that point. I really was. And then this happened, Like, generally, though, I would say I'm in a much, much, much better state than I was months ago. Much. It's just at a really, really low... I was in a really low spot. And a lot of shit was just coming down on me at once. As you can tell right now, I sound fine. I look fine. need to shower, but I just didn't want to shower in the hospital one for the last day. I told myself I'm just gonna shower in the thing over there. You know, I'm gonna shower in my shower with my soap and not the hospital soap. I'm gonna have a loofah. It's gonna feel good. You know, poop. But yeah. Yeah. You know what is at the hospital though? I actually met a guy. I was there that actually is in my command at this base, and that was fucking awesome. You know, it was amazing. He told me we were actually gonna meet up. You know, he's like, yeah, dude, we should, we should hang out. Come over on the weekend. You know, we'll chill. You know, we'll do some shit, etc. You know, I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, hell yes. You know, and that's actually something I still intend on doing. It feels good. It feels good knowing that I made a friend there, and we really connected. We had some really good talks there. So yeah, I look forward to that. Yeah, in terms of my mental health and things like that, right. So, I believe I may have a form of PTSD. You know, talking with some people that have had PTSD, I realized that a lot of my symptoms kind of correlate. Well, no, I have a lot of their symptoms. You know, I have a lot of their symptoms, and I ignored it for a good little while, like probably over a year now. I've ignored it because I would think that, well, what is it? I would think that, I don't have it. I didn't go to war. I'm not a war veteran. I didn't face gunshots. I didn't see death in that way. You know, but then I go talk to other people and I realize that not every PTSD victim went to war. There's some people that have PTSD that did not go to war. I could have, I might not have even the most standard version of PTSD. There's all types of different versions of PTSD, different variations, etc. And even then, it's not even considered a disorder nowadays, I don't think. I think they're actually dropping the D off of PTSD and just calling it PTS, which is post-traumatic stress. So yeah, I'm looking into that so I can maybe get into therapy, because I feel like, I was bringing up to my therapist over there, a lot of the main reason why I keep coming back to this, even though I have all of these coping strategies, all of these healthy habits that I build, I just keep coming back. I keep coming back regardless of how many things I do, how much I try to build myself up. It just comes crushing down just in a matter of moments. And it can be due to trauma that happened in the past. It overrides these precautions I set up. It overrides these coping mechanisms I use whenever I have these high anxiety, because it's so powerful. And I feel like I'm stuck in the past. I'm in a completely different mindset. I feel like I'm a completely different person almost, if you will. I'm a former self. I don't have the knowledge at that time. I usually go back to whenever I was a child. And I didn't have that great of coping skills back then. So I'm stuck in this time where I felt weak, vulnerable, I felt hopeless. Because guess what? I had a fucking shitty ass fucking life. Holy fucking shit. Oh my god. Whew. But that's another video for another day. I remember at one point, I tried making biography one time on stream and I just fucking snapped. Oh my god, I had a severe panic attack. It was awful. Awful. That shit lasted for hours and I was crying and bawling on my eyes out because of just how fucking awful the shit that happened in the past was. Yeah. I feel a lot stronger. I feel a lot stronger since then, I feel like I would be able to tackle it. I just don't want to do it right now. Eventually I will. Eventually, I will talk about my life. As of right now, I just want to give an update, and just let you guys know how I'm doing, what's been going on, etc. Right now, I'm feeling good. I'm happy to be out of the hospital. I'm just glad to be alive. I want to be alive. I believe I actually have a future. I believe that there is something for me out there. I can chase it. I can attain it. And I can become successful. And on top of that, I feel like even like gender-wise, that I can be me. I can be a masculine female. I can be a feminine female. I can be what the fuck ever I want to be. It's not up to other people to decide what I am. I'm me. I'm not what the fuck ever they put on me. I'm me. I decide what I want to be. I can't let other people decide and let them label me and let that label dictate how I feel. Hey, what's up, Flat Tire? I'm making like a video, except it's live kind of thing. It's resting. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, what is that? I was like in the middle of like a ramble, and then some. Gosh. Yeah. As you can see, just came back from the hospital. Fun stuff. Yeah. Gosh. All right. What is it? Yeah, but like gender-wise, yeah. I want to be a transgender female. I want to transition from male to female. I want to go on hormones, etc. Yeah, man. I appreciate you stopping by. Yeah. I mean, hey, it's fine. I get it. Like, believe me, I get it. Like, I haven't live streamed on Twitch in a while. I've done a lot of things in a while. I've been trying to keep to myself. I've been trying to focus on me. And I feel like it's really helped in some regards. But same as like time, it's like I really shouldn't have isolated myself so much. Which is why I was in the hospital. But yeah, like gosh, yeah, I don't know. I wasn't really gonna go too much else. Yeah, what is that? I got a girlfriend though. Which is nice. I actually wrote her a letter while I was in the hospital. Yeah, this thing. So I wasn't able to really call. I didn't have my phone, etc. So, I had to be creative. Watch it, yeah. I'll go ahead and read it though. It's whatever. I'll go ahead and preface this though. I've been purposely kind of distant with my girlfriend. A little bit. Because I was dealing with a lot of stuff. And on top of that, I didn't know if I was ready for a relationship exactly. I just knew that I was attracted to her and I wanted to get to know her. And that's where I was kind of going with it. Because she did end up in the hospital, I overdosed on medication to try and kill myself. And that's what happened. Yeah. This good old stuff right here, actually. Good old naproxen. Took about 10,000 milligrams. Yeah. Not good. Do not recommend. It's awful. I had to drink charcoal. Charcoal. God. Disgusting. Ugh. Not recommend overdosing on medication. It's not a guarantee. It is not. Anyway. Don't ever think you don't matter. It wasn't even that. It wasn't even that. I was just dealing with a lot of shit. I felt kind of just hopeless for the future. I felt like it wasn't really going to go anywhere kind of thing, like that wasn't even in my mind. Honestly, I was just focusing on something else entirely. Didn't even think about that. I didn't think that people cared. I didn't think anything. I was just thinking about how lonely I was, how shit life's been, etc. And I was just focusing on all these negatives. And like it was just really shitty. A lot of things were really piling on me at the time, you know. So yeah, it's hard. Yeah. But yeah, I'm okay now. I'm doing good. I actually am part of a partial hospitalization program where I go over to the hospital every single day to go be part of therapy groups, whether it be individual with a doctor or with group sessions with other people that are dealing with similar things. Um, so it'll be good for me. It'd be nice, you know, to go do something other than just sitting at home all day, you know. And on top of that, getting help, you know, because I feel like I really need that. Like, oh my goodness, dude, this knife is not being nice. There we go. Anyway. But yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I'm part of that, doing that, and then you know I'm gonna go through hopefully PTSD therapy, or something I'd like. Plan on like going through some things to see if there's anything else that could possibly help me that you know I just ignored, pushed off, etc. So trying to keep that in mind, do that. Anyway, what is it? Let me see something here, real quick. Anyway, yeah, it sucked. It sucked being in the hospital. It sucked having suicide ideations, and I'm glad I'm not having either. Really glad. Glad to be back. I'm glad I can watch anime. I'm glad I can eat normal food. I'm glad I can listen to music. Glad I can look at memes. A lot of different things. You know, it's good to be alive. I'm looking forward to living. You know, it's good stuff. But anyway, I think I'll go ahead and end it here. I think I said all I wanted to say in this video. Like, I mostly made this live stream just to just kind of see how it was, just go in one take kind of thing, just to kind of show that I am doing it in one take, just show my thought process, etc. and whatnot. Yeah. But yeah, I appreciate you being here, Flat Tire. Yeah. I don't know if I'll stream on Twitch anytime soon, though. I don't know if I'll do it today. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. But yeah. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to me. Appreciate you. Appreciate your guys' support. Otherwise, you know, I probably wouldn't be doing this. But yeah. You know, as I'm doing, you know, keep on living, you know, make the most that you possibly can. And yeah. Take care. See ya.